Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm going to be continuing my 2017 reading wrap-up with books 16 through 25. I did a lot of book reviews this month, so I'll be giving a lot of links and everything, but I'm going to quickly go through the books and what they're about, and my general feelings and my ratings, so let's just get to it. The 16th book I read this year is going to be The End of All Things by John Scalzi. This is the 6th and final book in the Old Man's War series. It's one of my favorite science fiction series. It's very easy to get into, and so a lot of people that haven't read a lot of science fiction would definitely be able to just jump right in and understand everything that's going on. The characters are always extremely sarcastic, witty, and funny. And this one, obviously, it's the last book in the series, but it follows a different character than all of the others. And some of the complaints about this book have been that the main character in this one is not very easily distinguished from any of the other main characters in the series, which I agree with. I think that John Scalzi definitely has this one specific type of character, and he continuously writes that character in different situations with a different name. But, I mean, I just love that type of personality. I love reading about that kind of person, the very sarcastic, witty person, so I really enjoyed this. I ended up giving it 4 stars just because I didn't love it as much as some of the other books in the series. This one's done similarly to the 5th book in the series, where it's in different parts and in different perspectives. So it's all over the place with the different perspectives and the different sections, but I think he did that better with the human division than he did here, so I ended up giving it 4 stars. But I still really enjoyed it, and I recommend it. I'm hoping to read his newest book that either just came out or it's coming out soon. I have an arc of it, and let you guys know what I think about that one. Hopefully he writes a different kind of character. One second, there's a woodpecker pecking my house. The next thing I finished is Legion by Brandon Sanderson. This is a novella that is set in our world, basically. It follows a guy named Stephen Leeds who has different hallucinations, and each person has a different specialty. He's a detective, and so all of these different people with their different specialties help him solve cases. He's a bit of an anomaly because people don't really understand how he's doing all of this and why he has these hallucinations. They think that he might have schizophrenia, but that's not technically what he has. It's just a very humorous novel about this detective trying to interact with the normal world while he's having all of these hallucinations. I did a book review for this, so I'll leave that up in the card symbol, and you can check out more of my thoughts on it. But the next thing that I read was Legion Skindeep, which I also did a book review for. It's non-spoiler, so you're not going to be spoiled for the first novella, but this one will also be up in the card symbol if you want to check that out. It just continues the story, and some of the threads that were brought up in Legion are carried on through Skindeep, and I think that if he writes a 3rd Legion novella, some of the questions that you start to have in this one will be answered in the 3rd one, possibly. But I like that this one brought up some new things. You get to explore some more humans that he interacts with, not just his hallucinations, but they continue to be very funny, very fast-paced. Really enjoyed both of these. I gave the first one 3.5 stars because I didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to. It was good, but not my favorite, and then I really liked Skindeep. I gave this one 4.5 stars out of 5 stars. The next thing I read is Walkaway by Cory Doctorow. I did a book review on this, so I'll leave that up in the card symbol if you want to check it out. But this one is a very diverse adult science fiction dystopian book where in this future world, and it's really the entire world, not just the US, there's a way of living called default, and that's where the elite are in charge and all of the people that are underneath them are struggling to, you know, make ends meet. There's a bad process of going into debt and then trying to work off your debt and not being able to, and then going into more debt. It's just a really bad cycle, and so a lot of people have chosen to what's called walk away, and then they go and live on their own outside of these societies. The walkaway society has flourished, and by flourished I mean they found the cure to death. They have figured out how to be immortal, and so the people of default have now started to freak out, and they're trying to oppress the walkaways and make sure that they can take that technology for themselves. It's very interesting. I really liked that whole world concept. There were some formatting things that I didn't get along with. Sometimes when they jumped from one time period to another, I had a hard time following, but overall I found it interesting enough, and I gave it 3.5 stars. Again, check out my review if you want to know more of my thoughts. I then read volumes 5 and 6 in the Death Note manga series by Tsugumi Oba and Takeshi Obata. This is the 3rd bind-up, so it has volumes 5 and 6 in it. If you guys don't know, Death Note follows this guy named Light Yagami who finds something called the Death Note. When you write someone's name in the Death Note, they die, and you can specify when and how they will die. Within reason, there are rules and everything like that, but it really follows Light as he's deciding to make a better world and kill off all of these bad people, and then people trying to figure out who is killing all these people. It's very intense and very intellectual. People are trying to outsmart each other and everything like that. It's very fun, really enjoyed it. The first volume kind of threw me off because Light does not care about killing all of these people, so it took me a little while to get used to that, but once I did, I'm fully invested in this story now. I gave volume 5 4.5 stars, and I gave volume 6 4 stars. There's a female character introduced in volume 6, and people have a problem with the fact that Light takes advantage of this female character and just really makes her feel stupid and not important. I think that with that character, it just makes sense. I wish there were more female characters in this in general, because there literally, I just realized there are no female characters besides the one that was introduced in volume 6. There's some side characters, but they only pop up every once in a while, so that's probably not a good thing, but I'm still enjoying the series. The 22nd thing I read in 2017 is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. I did a book review on this as well, so that will be up in the card symbol if you want to check it out. This one follows two characters that are living in a future world where people have become immortal. It's different than Walkaway because in this one, when you turn older, when you turn like 60 or something, you can do what's called turning the corner and you get turned back into a younger person. The two characters that we follow both get chosen to become Scythes, which are a group of people that are tasked with deciding which people are permanently killed. The people that are chosen to be Scythes are all morally upstanding, morally righteous people, and so having to kill a certain number of people every year affects them mentally and everything like that. Then there's problems within the Scythe community, and it's just very, very entertaining. While reading it, I was trying to figure out what was going to happen. Would the two children make it through their apprenticeships and actually become Scythes? I really enjoyed it. I really liked learning about the world. This is the first book in a series, so it will continue to grow and continue to be expanded and explained. But this first book was very strong for me, and I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. Again, check out my review if you want to know more in-depth thoughts, as well as some more description of the world. I then read A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab because the second book was nominated for the BookTubeSFF Awards. Links to the BookTubeSFF Awards will be down below. It follows this guy named Kel who's able to travel between different versions of the world. The worlds are identified by Londons because every single different parallel world has a city named London in the exact same spot, and Kel is able to travel between the different Londons. So there's Red London, which is where he's from, that has the most magic. Then there's Grey London, which has no magic, White London, which has some magic, but the people have a hard time accessing it, and then there's Black London, where magic has taken over everything and destroyed everything. The story really gets started when Kel ends up smuggling something across the barriers between the different Londons that he's not supposed to. I mean, he's not really supposed to smuggle anything, but he smuggles something that is bad, and then he's on a journey to try to correct that wrongdoing. I liked it. I didn't love it. I felt like a lot of the problems that were occurring in this book were just because the characters were being stupid over and over and over again. Like every single character was being stupid, and so it was causing a lot of problems. And I know that people are stupid in real life, but I feel like there are a fair number of smart people that would prevent things like this from happening. So I liked it, didn't love it. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I did a book review for this, so that will be up in the card symbol. You can check it out, but I will be continuing to read the second book because I'm interested in the world and I want to know more about the world. I just don't care as much about Kel or Lila. The 24th thing that I read in 2017 is The Eagles Quill by Sarah L. Thomson. I did a book review for this, but I'm going to leave that one down in the description if you want to check it out. This is the second book in the Secrets of the Seven series, which is a middle grade / children's series that follows 3 children that are trying to solve all of these different puzzles and mysteries and clues that were left by the founding fathers to these keys that will allow them access to a secret weapon that Benjamin Franklin invented a long, long time ago. They're trying to race these bad guys to getting to the weapon to protect the world. The first book follows these children as they're solving mysteries about Benjamin Franklin, and then in this book, it follows them going through mysteries and solving clues about Thomas Jefferson. I enjoyed this. I gave it 3 stars. I liked it a little bit less than the first one, but I still really enjoy learning about the Founding Fathers. And also something that I really liked was that this series doesn't portray the Founding Fathers as perfect people. They were flawed. Thomas Jefferson owned slaves, and that's addressed in this book, so I really appreciated that. And I will be continuing to read this series when the next one comes out. This one comes out in April, so you still have time to check out the first book before the second one comes out. And the 25th thing that I read in 2017 is going to be Beartown by Fredrik Backman. I love Fredrik Backman. I ended up giving this 5 stars. I did a book review for this as well. It's a little bit lengthy, but that's because I had a lot of positive things to say about this, and I pretty much just gushed for 13 minutes about how much I love this book and how incredible it is. I will leave that up in the card symbol. Please check it out because this book is amazing. It follows this small town in the northern part of Sweden that is totally obsessed with hockey, and they put a lot of weight on the people that play hockey in the town, and the town is not doing very well, so they're hoping that when the junior ice hockey team wins the national championship, that it will bring a lot of people to their town and help their town start to grow again. But then something bad happens, and then the whole town is affected, and it really explores people's reactions to bad things that happen, and especially bad things that happen that affect them poorly. So I really enjoyed all those. I forgot to say in my book review though that this is actually translated by someone that is different than all of his other books. Most of his other books are translated by Henning Koch, and this one is translated by Neal Smith. So I forgot to say that, but Neal Smith does a fantastic job of translating this book, and I 100% recommend it. So those are the next 10 things I read in 2017. Let me know down in the comments what you've been reading. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys next time.